Yahoo News have revealed this week some police force statistics in which it gives figures on children having force used against them by police. The revelations include an incident in which a Northamptonshire police firearms officer drew his gun on a child who was under the age of 11 last year. A big strong policeman had to unholster his deadly weapon against an 11-year-old child. I think somebody needs to be looking into their de-escalation training programme and self-defence training. The information has revealed that the use of force against children under the age of 11 years old had increased last year across England and Wales from a total of 659 incidents from 427 the previous year. And I bet my last pound those figures have been massaged. Now bear in mind that use of force can simply mean putting on handcuffs and the drawing of but not using a taser, among other things. Between April 2021 and March 2022, Northamptonshire Police was the only force to report an incident of a firearm drawn against a young child. One child under 11 was tasered, whilst a further 7 had tasers drawn on them but not discharged. And there were 290 cases of under 11s being restrained by police, of which 114 were handcuffed. There were 608,164 recorded incidents where a police constable reported the use of force on an individual in England and Wales in the year ending 31st of March 2022. That's an increase of 8% from the previous year, which was 562,277, an increase of 45,887. This, in government documents, is said to be likely due in part to the continued improvement in the recording of use of force incidents. In the year ending 31st of March 2022, 73%, that's 444,374 people who had force used against them, were white folk, although Home Office data calls them people who are perceived as white. 14% perceived as black, 7% perceived as Asian. Do you know what? This is bullshit. 73% white folk, 14% black folk, 7% Asian folk, 2% mixed ethnicity folk, and 2% other ethnic groups folk. Now let's just break that down into more tangible numbers. 444,374 whites, 82,810 blacks, 42,386 Asians, 13,336 from mixed ethnicity, and 14,956 from other ethnic groups. The figures suggest that black males aged 18 to 34 experienced the highest rate of use of force, according to the documents. It says that those perceived as male aged 18 to 34 and from a black ethnic group accounted for 7% of all use of force incidents, compared with 0.5 of the overall population and a rate of 145 use of force incidents per 1,000 population. Now, I could be wrong, but couldn't this simply be that that age range of that ethnicity are committing more crimes? Could it be that that age range of that ethnicity are now feeling empowered to fight back against the police, claiming racism due to the government and police's pandering to community outcry every time a black person gets arrested? And in the process, the police then need to use more force to detain them. I'm not saying that is the reason, but it is genuinely a possibility that's not apparently accounted for in any of these documents. Now, the reason for use of force is an interesting one. The Home Office stats, which they compile from figures given to them from police forces, so are no doubtedly already massaged before the Home Office received them, say that 70% of the use of force was for police protection of themselves. 61% was for protection of their colleagues, 53% was force used to make an arrest, 46% apparently to prevent escape, and 45% was to protect the subject. Now that certainly makes it sound like they are more at risk from us than we are of them. Now there is a lot more information in this Home Office report, which I will link to in the description for you to go read yourself, if of course you're interested, but it certainly seems to highlight some very worrying trends.